that Mr. Billionaire might have scuffed him up a little bit, might have had a little something so he can kind of get it comes out to be a false alarm.
Right.
But we were very suspicious when all that went down about a month and a half ago.
Let me tell you, I don't think that has to
but they
go
said
over
that's
racial lines.
That's a lot to do with his, how people feel. They felt like this guy...
The city was in a complete panic thinking there was going to be a subway bombing or something, and then it turned out to be absolutely nothing.
And he comes forward and puts the police out there and says, we're not going to cave in. And the ACLU comes in about the bag searches, and he comes up looking very strong, saying, screw you, man. We're searching. It's safer this way. Kind of looks powerful. People like that.
Could that possibly be what I'm saying it is?
I'm with you a little bit.
It could. The only problem with a conspiracy theory is the conspiracy... In essence, its whole basis of being conspiracy is that you must conspire with other people. There's the weakness of the conspiracy, is the fact that there's other people involved that all of a sudden can open their yaps.
You don't think Magic could have mustered up?
Magic? You think Magic could shut up as long as he's been able to open up theaters?
Subliminal messages at the Magic Theater?
Someone splicing in a frame of fucking Bloomberg
during Doom. It's like support Bloomberg. Huh? What did the Rock just say?
I gotta go vote and get some popcorn. Feeling like...
Is it not possible?
I think it's possible.
I think it's absolutely possible.
Is it insane that could happen?
I think, though, some of the biggest conspiracies are so impossible because too many people are involved and they wouldn't shut their yaps.
And somebody would have talked.
Yeah,
we all like to talk.
I think the stories that come out where someone tries something and like 5 people come forward and go, this motherfucker just asked me to do this, or this motherfucker, he's a lying sack of shit. Those are...
So you think Lee Harvey Oswald did it?
Yeah. Yeah, I as far as the Kennedy assassination goes...
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, thank God you said it.
Hell no.
With the magic bullet? With the whole... with Kevin Costner's movie? Come on.
That Kevin Costner movie is fact, my brother.
They did it.
I watched an episode.
They did it to us.
I watched an episode of Cops just the other night where some guy is in the driver's seat of his car. Some teen, he's like 13 years old, involved in some gang shit. And the cop, after they were trying to take him out of the seat, he goes over to one of the detectives and goes, "There's a bullet right here on him. Don't lose it." It had come through his shirt, and it was just laying on his shirt. So they had to pick that up. It's evidence and everything. And then the cop showed where the bullet went. He goes, "You look here, there's a hole in the license plate, in the rear license plate." He goes, "It went here, through the trunk." He opens up, through the back seat, hit the back of the guy's front seat, went through his shoulder, and came out like his other side and left the bullet there, which they showed in pristine condition. And I'm like, this is just some 13-year-old fucking gangbanger. No one's setting up a conspiracy. Sometimes this shit just happens. Like in a tornado. You ever see the cigarette through the windshield of a car when someone gets in a head-on? Or the 2x4 perfectly through a telephone pole?
Here's the big difference.
Yeah.
That's what they say, but I believe what I see. That whole thing of believe half of what you see and none of what you hear. I believe all what I see, I believe. It's like back and to the left. They can't, if they had did it to the little black dude, back and to the left, or license plate through the chest. Right. But the fact is, they show his brains getting blown out from the back and him going forwards. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, they show the conspiracy happening. That's the only problem. If I never saw that Oliver Stone movie, I go, Lee Harvey was just good, or whatever the case may be. But then they get into the rifle, like 2.8 seconds, and then the fastest guy in the world, they got to try to cock that rifle. I had an egg on the thing.
But I've seen
cock that rifle and then shoot it twice at perfect range. With that rifle is almost impossible. That's the whole thing.
I've seen people do it. Like, they've also shown people that have done it on certain shows. It's one of those things no one's ever going to fucking know. What are they supposed to open up more Kennedy shit?
But you believe Lee Harvey Oswald did it? You believe it in your balls that he did it?
I've seen nothing else to the contrary, really. No evidence, no real proof.
White guy, man. You really are a white guy, man.
I'm actually surprised, too.
I need something I can wrap my hands around.
Don't get my brother to call this show. He's an expert on this stuff.
I know he is.
I've sat and talked to him.
I absolutely have sat and talked to him about it.
They covered it up nice, and now all the info that is available is all watered down with all the creeps out there.
But another cover-up? How many people?
But it was like 20 people that came forward, and they all mysteriously disappeared. They all mysteriously have AIDS or whatever.
Getting run over by getting thrown out of cars. And
AIDS in the 60s, they got it.
They had AIDS in the 60s. The blob got them. They're all... How can you not believe that, Anthony? Just on a... Okay, let's say, we just being hypothetical to the highest level.
Am I saying
you believe that he did that? Or
there's not some possibility that something could be fishy? All right, I'll give you that.
The grassy knoll, that means nothing to you.
Means nothing. We saw a puff of smoke. Everyone was... They were 5-year-olds smoking cigarettes back then. Could have just been someone puffing out a cigarette. Everyone smoked back then.
I think the Mafia was so powerful back then they had him killed.
The Mafia was very powerful back then.
The Mafia knocked him off.
Well, what about why wouldn't Oswald, a communist, have some problem with Kennedy and want him just shoot him?
I think they just got him involved.
That good old word Patsy. You don't believe none of that either.
I'm not buying.
They just got him involved.
This motherfucker, how stupid do you have to be? And why is the Mafia guy
killing Oswald?
Why is the Mafia guy shooting him?
Could you just sit up here with a fucking rifle? Don't shoot the president, but just kind of hang out up here with the rifle while we drive past.
He might have been involved, but he was the patsy. He was like, okay, Lee, we're gonna do this.
And why didn't he take the shot as the car's coming right at him, Anthony?
Because everyone's looking at you.
He waits for him to make that left turn.
You know why? And I've noticed.
And then shoots through a tree.
Because everyone's fucking looking right at you when you're shooting as they're coming at you. Every eye in the motorcade is staring at that building, and if you pop up with a rifle, they could jump all over this motherfucker. You never get a shot. Why not take it when no one's looking?
Let me tell you why.
Going to jump on this guy. He found a great spot.
I'm going to tell you why.
I don't mean jump on him. Jump on the president. Jump on, now all the eyes are facing forward. All you got to do is look up at that window and see a gun and a guy. It's over, Johnny. He takes the little turn. You get him while he's turning, right after he turns. Now everyone's looking. You're not even in anyone's point of view.
Did you pay attention to Donald Sutherland's scene in that movie?
I paid attention.
That's why I believe in it.
The Donald Sutherland scene.
Outside the Lincoln Memorial.
Donald Sutherland's scene is why I believe it was a conspiracy.
That's right.
I don't care. I have never read a thing about that goddamn thing. I said, some cracker killed another cracker. But when I saw Donald Sutherland's scene in that movie, I said, God damn, it happened.
It's scary that you're getting all your info from movies.
An Oliver Stone movie, too.
The Terminator's real, too, baby.
Well, let's, I don't know, let's move on. We could argue that all day long. Eric in Colorado, what's up?
Hey, boys, talking about the election results. How did Bernie do yesterday?
Yeah, how did Bernie Getz do? That's the only reason he doesn't do our show anymore.
Bernie was running for mayor, and then he was running for some other office when he realized that mayor was futile.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he started wanting to run for... Ben, any idea what else he was running for?
I tried
Comptroller? I don't know what he was running for.
I've been trying to get a hold of Bernie for the last couple of weeks to get him on with the campaign. He's still, all he says is...
He's either inventing stuff or he's running for an office.
Yeah. He's still pissed at Opie about the CD thing.
You ruined it with Bernie.
Yeah, but what a highlight.
It certainly was.
It could be the best bit since coming to satellite radio. We'll see what the listeners
getting that lunatic Bernie gets all upset.
I don't know. You don't see him in any of the newspaper results or anything.
No.
BernieForMayor.com was his website.
Well, why don't you email him and ask him how he did?
He didn't respond yesterday.
Did he phone in a concession speech?
I'll email him again.
A rambling concession speech about vegetarianism and squirrels? Fucking lunatic.
Last time he emailed me was a couple weeks ago. He said he would never do the show again.
Soy milk.
Yeah.
If children would just be vegetarians in school and drink soy milk, there would be no violence in school. That's what Bernie Getz says. That's how nutty.
It sucks that he's never going to do our show again, but what a way to go out.
Yeah, certainly was.
We were all convinced he was going for a gun.
Going for a gun.
That's a great last appearance for somebody.
He's got a Photoshop thing on his website, though, of him like in an XM studio, if you go to BernieForMayor.com.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So, I mean, but he just doesn't want to come back here. Remember, he did come on the phone once after that. Briefly, we had him on the phone for a couple minutes, and that was the end.
That was it for Bernie. Dan, what's up?
What's up, guys?
Hey.
Salam alaikum, Patrice.
Alaikum assalam.
Thank you. There's a show, I know, that without getting into too much detail, on the Discovery Channel. They recreated the bullet one shot, making torsos with forensic jelly. They caused 7 injuries with one bullet.
In Australia, right?
Yes.
I saw that. I didn't believe it.
Oh, come on. It was great.
It was fantastic, but it was perfect conditions. They put a brick here and a piece of steel there to make it happen. I saw that. It was great. But I still just don't believe a person could have did it with even the luckiest of luck and the skill of skill. I just think Donald Sutherland was right still.
Donald Sutherland.
Donald Sutherland. I just believe it happened, man. It was a conspiracy.
That's great. Let's go to Mike in Massachusetts. Mike.
Hey, boys.
Hey.
Hey, your old pal Charlie Menino, 4th term coming up.
Yeah, Mayor Menino was reelected again.
Damn.
Another landslide victory for
that motherfucker.
Mayor Menino in Boston.
Babies.
He is
4 terms.
Has he beat Kevin White yet?
Of fucking mayors.
Did he beat Kevin White yet?
Can you play that, going into break, can you play that clip where he goes, the beyond, the bond?
The beyond, where he's reading the stories to the children at school?
Yeah.